Good evening as we come on the air with 2020 tonight, and we'll get to all of that in just a moment. But we're also following the breaking news out of Oklahoma tonight. Direct hit, the Twister outbreak, and it is incredible to believe it was just less than 2 weeks ago. We were standing there in Moore, Oklahoma. Straight to the images coming into ABC News at this hour, and this is the storm chaser video that speaks volumes about the fear in that same community again tonight. Oklahoma City and the surrounding suburbs warned at rush hour their time that these tornadoes were not only heating up, but were touching down and heading toward many of the communities in that area. We do know tonight that Moore, Oklahoma, that same community, has been hit again. Norman, Oklahoma, suffering damage as well, and many of the suburbs in Oklahoma City tonight. This is the video coming into us, storm chaser footage, and there you can see the dark sky, the thunder and lightning descending upon Oklahoma City tonight. I did speak with the governor a short time ago. She told me it is too early to say whether or not there have been injuries, but it's almost a certainty tonight. There are descriptions of the interstates at rush hour, a chaotic scene as those alerts came out right at the rush hour, the peak of the rush hour travel on a Friday evening there in Oklahoma City. I want to bring in meteorologist Ginger Zee, who's been reporting into ABC News throughout the evening. And Ginger, when we came onto the east for World News earlier this evening, we could see the skies darkening as you were on the air. This was moving in quickly, and you knew this was going to be powerful all over again.
Right. We've been seeing this setup for days. We were actually talking about it last weekend, David. The jet stream is so energetic, and especially today, the atmosphere is so volatile. And boy, it was ready to erupt, and it did. It first started as 3 separate thunderstorms that were severe warned within 30 minutes of developing. All of a sudden, they started turning right, and that's when we know they're going to go tornadic. That happened in El Reno, just west of Oklahoma City, and the moment that happened, I said, we have got to get south. We were chasing those storms too, but eventually we just got to safety. And then we watched a second, and eventually a third tornadic supercell track from west to east right through Oklahoma City.
I want to let viewers know who are watching us live at this hour, 2020 on the air, with breaking news coverage of these Oklahoma tornadoes, who is still in the severe weather threat zone, Ginger. And you said there are several states in the path of this system as it moves on throughout the evening.
It's been such a slow-moving system, and it is not just here south and east of Oklahoma City that still has some major danger ahead of it, but all the way through parts of northwest Arkansas, Missouri, southwestern Illinois. That will all sink south and east through the night. And a large part of this country needs to be aware, on high alert, and paying attention with their NOAA weather radios on, their apps on. All the warning that you can possibly give yourself, you'll need this evening.
Can't even imagine what it was like for the families in this same community where those 2 elementary schools took direct hits just a week and a half ago. Those same neighborhoods you and I were standing in, Ginger. But when we were standing there just a week and a half ago, we talked about how rare it is that a tornado would hit the same place twice. And we were talking about May of 1999, the last time a major tornado moved through Moore, Oklahoma. And now we're talking about 2 direct hits within 2 weeks.
It is, but it's an unbelievable statistic that I did not think possible. Now, this part of the country always gets a lot of severe storms, and yes, more tornadoes than anywhere else, especially in May. But to have this happen in such a populated area, again, within 2 weeks, it just blows my mind. And I've chased storms for more than a decade. When I saw this setup today, I got a sick feeling in my stomach, and unfortunately, it has all come true.
Ginger, stay with us here on 2020, and I can report to our viewers that the Oklahoma Highway Patrol had been warning motorists to try to get off the interstate if that was possible. But as you can imagine, at rush hour, it was simply jammed on the highways there. There are some reports that motorists were hurt in this severe weather as it passed through. And as you heard Ginger report there, more severe weather on the way for parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, even as far north as western Pennsylvania over the next 24 hours. We will continue to follow this. ABC's Mike Betcher, who is an Oklahoma City native, was actually in his basement with his family. He's come upstairs to talk to us tonight. Mike, I know you were concerned about another alert coming through, another threat of possible tornado. Can you give us the latest?
That storm is dissipated, but the storms Ginger talked about to the east are still active, and there are tornado warnings for areas southeast of Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol is reporting at least 2 deaths along Interstate 40 west of Oklahoma City. That entire interstate was a parking lot as as the tornado tracked right along Interstate 40. An Oklahoma Highway Patrolman spokesman talked about 2 people being sucked out of their cars. There are numerous other injuries being reported near Interstate 40, west of Oklahoma City. That storm tracked straight towards our neighborhood and then jogged south through South Oklahoma City, then to Moore, which is just south of the Oklahoma City area, and then to Norman. But there are 2 separate storms now that are still active. They're east. It looks like Oklahoma City itself is in the all clear now. They're trying to assess damage still.
And Mike, you and I were talking about Interstate 35, where we did so much reporting. That, for viewers watching around the country tonight, is the area that is in Moore, Oklahoma, right in front of the hospital. The top layer of the hospital, the top floor, simply sheared off, and not far from there, those 2 elementary schools. And Mike, you were telling me that, according to police there, it's possible that there was another hit right on Interstate 35 right there.
Correct. That funnel cloud was reported on the ground right in that location passing through. Now, we have more police reports of cars overturned in that area. I-35 at that time was packed solid. Cars were not moving. Headlight after headlight by the thousands up and down for miles. And that would have been an extremely hazardous situation. You would have had the problem, too, of debris that extends for miles and more being picked up again by this storm, with winds at least 150 to 200 miles an hour inside that tornado that they were monitoring. That debris basically becomes projectiles that can kill. We're still trying to assess what the damage is south of Interstate 40 and South Oklahoma City, Moore and Norman, Midwest City, Tinker Air Force Base, a giant Air Force base. Tornado passed through there. All over town, all you hear right now are sirens. The winds 10 minutes ago were gusting over 50 miles an hour. Now it's eerily silent.
Well, Mike, stay safe, and we appreciate you reporting in again. And for the folks who are watching from all over the country, you're likely thinking what we are, which is just simply shaking our heads that this could hit again a week and a half later. And I wanted to give you a sense of the alerts that went out. This is our affiliate, KOCO, and the warning from the meteorologist there moments before these twisters came through. Take a look.
You need to be getting into your tornado shelter right now. We see the circulation right here. This is going to continue to move to the southeast.
The Weather Service is saying that storm spotters are tracking a confirmed tornado 4 miles northwest of Moore. All right, so at least for a time, this circulation was on the ground. So, if you live in Moore, you got to get below ground right now, get to your safe area. To be honest, there are so many circulations on the southern edge of this massive supercell. I can't keep up.
Ginger, with just a few moments left, can you describe again these incredible storm chaser pictures tonight that simply show us all the horror that's returned to the same spot where we were all reporting just a couple of weeks ago? We're looking at that funnel form right in front of us. This is almost impossible to believe.
David, I just have been seeing some of those images for the first time, and I'm clicking on videos that are my friends. These are my meteorology and storm chasing friends that I have known for more than a decade, and I'm shaking just to see what has happened here. I don't think I would have ever been in that position. I stay pretty far away, especially with a big crew. But I can't say that these storms were wobbling north and south, and I think that was a big part of the problem here. Multiple tornadoes in a row.
Ginger Zee reporting from the storm zone tonight. She is in Oklahoma as we stay with this footage coming in to ABC News at this hour. You can see the dark sky there, and you can only imagine the fear for those families, the children, the brave teachers we all met just a week and a half ago. We'll continue to stay on this and the rest of 2020 when we come back. We'll be right back.